Hello from the sunny south of France, and welcome to the next episode in my trip from here in southwest France to Slovenia. In this episode I continue to drive through northern Italy with Élise, my Belgian hitchhiker friend, and I'm really glad she was with me because I would not have stopped and swam in Lake Garda, nor would I have turned off the main road to find a shop selling ice cream in a village in Italy. We camped in the rain in a place called Brunech in the Tyrol, and the next morning I dropped Élise off for the start of another one of her walks. I think she said it was going to take 10 days. It's called the highway Via Haute. I can't remember what it is in Italian or German or Tyrolese. And then from there I went to Slovenia and a place called Logatec, apologies for the pronunciation, where there was a base camp where people could assemble before the final short stretch to the world meeting in Slovenia in a place called Postojna. Anyway, enjoy the video. 7:30 in the morning, and this is Asti as it wakes up. It rained during the night. Hopefully it's not going to rain today and everything will dry. This is Lake Garda. In a very unlikely event, we have found parking right on the lakeside. Oh, there's even benches there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is Garda. This wasn't in my plans for today, but it's very refreshing, but not actually that cold. It's a lot warmer than the Mediterranean was in May. But look at that. I came out of a tunnel and saw a little parking space with room for maybe 2 cars, so just pulled straight in there, and this beach cars just up there under that big tree above the bamboos. Oh, what a place. Noisy, I imagine, but lovely. Lake Garda. My daughter to stay for the weekend. Oh, look at that. The way the vines are trained
We are here in Bruneck. It's this small, no, it's quite a town in the Dolomites, and people seem to respect way more the rules on the road than they did in the Italian-speaking part, more south. It's quite more easy to ride, isn't it, James?
It is, yes. Yes, people don't overtake on solid white lines.
And there's the army. Straight ahead.
The army?
I saw some people over there.
Oh yeah, I can see them, yeah.
So we're still in Bruneck. Look at those gorgeous mountains, the Dolomites. And James has been driving 500 kilometers yesterday and he's still looking fit.
Well, I've dropped off Élise, who's walking in the mountains for another 10 days, all self-sufficient and wild camping, which is very impressive. And I've now just got to find my way from here to Slovenia. This is a very, very beautiful part of the Dolomites, although very touristy. There was a car park at the end, and I had 15 minutes free parking, or it was going to be €15 for the rest of the day. So it was a quick turnaround, and off she's gone. Austria. That was the border with Austria. The transition is fairly gentle, given the other side of the border they speak German. It might be, I don't know enough about the Tyrol. I don't know whether actually it's German or whether it's Austrian they speak, or even Swiss German. Anyway, I'm in Austria. I'm trying to avoid any motorways because I haven't bought a vignette for them. According to the sat-nav, it's 250 kilometres to where the World-Meeting holding camp is, but I think it doesn't take until tomorrow, so I'll have to find somewhere else to camp tonight. Just climbed a col, just going down the other side now. It's 1,530 metres, 4,800 feet. picturesque around here. I think it's quite touristy. There's even a chap in a felt cap. About late house. Lots of hairpins in the rain, in the woods. You wouldn't fall asleep driving in this because it's quite physical, and at no point can you take your eye off the road or your hands off the wheel. I'm hoping leave the mountains, the weather will improve, but who knows. I'm also thinking of Élise. I hope this weather didn't reach her. She was expecting some rain. I hope she manages it. Very abruptly, I came out of the hills into this big wide valley. But the weather, well, it's not raining as hard as it was. I don't know whether you can read that sign over there. It says Villach, which is Germany, 20 kilometers to the left. Tarvisio, which is Italy, 7 kilometers to the right. It's parts of Europe amazing like that, where there's 3 countries so close together. The border, I assume, or the old border, must be. Oh yeah, there's a sign. I've only come about 2 kilometres and was expecting to be a bit more. Anyway, back in Italy. I assume this is also a German-speaking, Austrian-speaking part of Italy. Said Slovenia, which is where I'm headed. So it would be possible to do 4 countries in no more than 30 kilometres. I've once driven into 5 countries in one day, but it was twice I think I've done that, but each time it was a lot more distance, a lot bigger distance than this. this part of Italy is actually Italian speaking. There's a sign there, and beside each of the names it's given the countries. And I'm climbing again, and it's raining again, and I'm back in the hairpins. Still spectacular scenery. Be the last tunnel for a while. Italy is very fond of tunnels. I don't know about Slovenia. To let a couple of cars go past, but you can see that sign there, just about make out the word Slovenia. And I assume that's a fort from when Slovenia was behind the Iron Curtain. Tyrol. Maybe that's another part of Europe which has got its independence movement. Perched on the edge of a sheer drop to a very deep chasm. I don't suppose the camera's going to pick it up, but it's quite impressive. Quite a busy road. Didn't see that many people the other side, but busy this side. Well, this will be my first Slovenian village. Well, for 6 years anyway. See how different it looks to the other side? Not a lot. Not really. Looks fairly like both Austria and Italy. The rain has continued. The skies are just dull grey. I've got 60 kilometres to go, another hour and a half I suppose. The sat-nav has just brought me up a long hill that was 13% gradient, and I'm now along the top of a ridge. I can see for absolutely miles, except I can also see every hilltop has got a cloud on it. I'm not far from where I'm going to start looking for a campsite. I found a couple park for the night, so I'll try those if the organisers have arranged for a sort of holding camp, but that doesn't open till tomorrow. So unless they've changed their minds and opened it today, which you never know, then it will be tomorrow. I've also discovered that if you pull over and let the Slovenian driver pass because you're going quite slowly, not one of them thanks you. It's obviously not part of the culture here for that. You might be able to see on the right there's a never-ending horizon of mountains, one after the other. If you lived here as a cyclist, you'd certainly get good at climbing mountains. And obviously Tadej Pogačar is, I don't know where he comes from in Slovenia, but there's been very little flat land so far. I've arrived one day early at the holding camp. There's some debate over whether we're allowed to be here, but the locals are making us ever so welcome. We've had beers and now we're about to have iced coffee. Well, I'm set up next to Peter, a Dutchman, and Simone, an Italian Swiss. He's gone right over there so he doesn't get woken up by the sun in the morning. But it seems we may have to move tomorrow. That's Simone. Here is Simone making pasta for us all. Oh, the sun's out. Sun's come out as well.
Very, very amazing pasta.
Good. Looking forward. Pasta cooked by an Italian has got to be good.
Oh, now here it is. Fusilli with a tomato sauce and zucchetti and what we put in? Garlic
and onion.
Tuna? You found the tuna?
I've given it to you.
Okay, and tuna.
Yeah, and tuna. Well, thank you for watching. As you can see, that journey had all kinds of weather, and it seemed to be setting the scene for the weeks to come.